Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 modding video. Today, we've got a brand new Commonwealth weapon re-release. I feel like it's been a little bit since we've released a proper firearm, so it's time to check one out, because we're looking at our 32 machine pistol, also known as the CZ61 Scorpion. An absolutely iconic weapon. It's been featured in more movies and video games than I can count. I don't know how accurate that is, but I can't count that high, so I guess it's probably true. Anyways, the Scorpion is a real big one. I think everybody knows the Scorpion, or at least has seen the Scorpion at some point in their time playing video games. It is the iconic Clob. It has been in practically every Call of Duty. It's a wonderful little automatic machine pistol that is just tons of fun, and depending on the game, the customization makes it even more fun. And thankfully, you know us, that means that right here in Fallout 4, it's going to have some really, really awesome attachments, including all kinds of different stocks, including the really cool, iconic folding stock over the top, the big old drum mag, different stock options and grip options, barrels, muzzles, accessories, sights, you name it, you can slap it on this thing. It is a real workhorse when it comes to the amount of customization options. We actually gave this thing quite a bit more than I had anticipated, and I think that that really helps make this mod shine just a little bit more than the honestly very few Scorpion mods that exist. We have had the Scorpion planned for, at this point, probably years. We just never really got around to it. A long time ago, we made the 22 pistol pack, which included a 22 machine pistol, which is a Tech 22 by Intratech, I believe. That looks pretty similar to a Scorpion, and when we made that, we used some underground Scorpion animations that most people didn't really know about, and at the time, that was the only Scorpion that existed. For the longest time, the only Scorpion of any mod was a Scorpion by Bones that was featured in the optional files of another mod, which to this day, I barely remember what it was. I think it was his weird, rotatey blowback shotgun thing? I think. And in the optional files of that was a Scorpion with no attachments, no customization, and some pretty choppy animations that we did use for the 22 pack. Since then, there had been practically no Scorpions for like years, until I believe Wars came out. And when Wars came out, they added a bunch of guns that a lot of people seem to forget are even in there, because to my experience, I haven't seen a ton of people who use Wars, which is crazy because I feel like it's talked about a lot and it's hyped up a lot. But in my experience, when I talk to people about the load orders, I never hear that many people actually using it. Probably because it's so in-depth and intrusive to the core mechanics of the game. But then you see things like Dia's mods, who goes and rips all the guns out of Wars and makes them standalone. And I believe that that is where we get our second Scorpion. Aside from those two, which are the same weapon, really, because one's ripped right out of Wars. Aside from those, the only Scorpions that exist is the newer style of Scorpion Evo with the Tacticool mods. So there wasn't really a comprehensive standalone Scorpion mod that was fully custom until right now, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me about that, but now we have a real proper Scorpion, standalone, no big pack, that just works, that uses all custom assets, and I think you guys are gonna like it. I don't know why I went on that rant. I think I blacked out there for a minute, and I didn't talk about the important stuff, so let's just speed through that. Custom attachments, level-less integration, it will spawn on enemies out in the world, and it will be purchasable from vendors. Specifically, you can find this thing on Minutemen, Raiders, Triggermen, Gunners, you can find it on legendary enemies, and all of that will happen after level 4. Because this is a pretty early game weapon. It uses 32 in the munitions version, and that of course means it uses 38 in the vanilla file. So use whichever one you prefer. If you like munitions, 32 is the correct caliber for this weapon, but if you want to, you can use 38 if you don't want to have munitions. It's up to you. There's, of course, a legendary that you can go and track down, and on top of that, there is also a brand new dungeon that holds the unique legendary. Then we'll definitely go check that out later in this video. I don't want to yap too much because I spent way too much time yapping already. Let's jump in game and start talking about this thing. Alright, I don't know how that intro is 5 minutes, but let's go ahead and talk about the mod! The 32 machine pistol, otherwise known in real life as the CZ Scorpion, is right here with base damage. I don't remember what my stats are on my character, but I have to imagine it's like 11. 22 seems a bit high. It's using 32 rounds because I'm on the munitions version, but it can come in 38 if you use a vanilla file. We have a fire rate of 127 in automatic only for this guy, a range of 107, an accuracy of 45, a weight of 4.6 pounds, and a value of 73 caps, and this is its almost most basic config. I suppose you could get a little bit more simple with a smaller magazine and the stock completely removed if you like that aesthetic for the Skorpion, but for me personally, having it folded over is the way to go. And yeah, we have this nice little iconic machine pistol here with, in my opinion, a decent model. I think we did pretty okay on it. The only thing that we had to change whatsoever is adding this bolt and nut here to the charging handle, because a proper Skorpion reload includes putting your hand over and pinching these two round bits here to pull the bolt back. But for us, because we wanted to add more customization options like scopes and different barrels and muzzles and such, and especially the folding stock, for all of it to work together, we had to make some very minor design tweaks. Like this stock had to get widened a little bit to go around some of the optics, and if we wanted the optics not to clip with your hand on the reload, we had to make a new animation where you pulled a charging handle on the side. So we at the very least did make that makeshifty, like a Raider added that for an easier charging handle to use. So that's the only real change that we had to make, because I couldn't really find a ton of different optic mounts for the Skorpion. The best ones were all mounted up here, but in real life, you make a sacrifice. You say, I want to use that optic, so I can't have the folding stock. But we didn't want to make you guys lose out on that, and it's kind of hard to say, when this scope is on, don't use this stock, and when this stock is on, you can't use the scope. You can't really, like, do that. So we opted to just make some very, very small design changes that I don't think really hurt the design at all. If anything, it makes them more scrappy and junky. And with that charging handle, when we get to the attachment section, you'll see that we have a lot of scrappy, junky parts to go with this that make it make even more sense. Let's go ahead and go check out the reload, because we have brand new custom animations that I would love to talk about. Dude, I even ranted in the stats menu. I don't know what's going on. I try to make these videos as fast as possible, and they keep ending up way too long. Anyways, animations. If you haven't seen the animation preview already, I'll go ahead and showcase not only the regular reload, but also the drum mag, and show off the custom sounds and suppress sounds, because all of them are brand new. We were going to originally use the animations from, I believe, Anti-Star from Wars, but we couldn't use them for all the reasons I just said in the stats preview, so we have some new custom ones here thanks to our wonderful Mac. Let's go ahead and check them out. And that's that. And with this new animation set using the charging handle there that's not unique to the Skorpion, I think we can reuse this in the future to make even more cool little SMGs. Pretty simple stuff, but we have more than that. We of course have a drum mag on this thing that's really, really fun, so let's check that as well. I do love a good early game SMG that, as you upgrade your perks, becomes more viable in the mid to late game, because, man, it sucks throwing some of these cool guns away. But if you get gun nut 2, 3, and 4, this thing becomes pretty competent. I'm taking out guys with power armor just from the sheer amount of bullets we've collected, and it's really fun. And then finally, we got those custom sounds. Let's go ahead and check out the custom suppressed sounds as well. And there you go. Pretty shrimple stuff. Now, I think the next section is going to take a little bit too, because we need to talk about the unique, and we went above and beyond and added a new dungeon. It's not a big one, but we do have to go check it out because it's new and custom, and I like to show off everything that's new and custom. Now, for our unique, we spent a long time testing out different paint jobs that we wanted to go with, and we ended up here with Bloodlust, a black, white, and red unique. All of the blue tape here is actually just part of the attachment, so ignore that. That isn't unique to the skin. We'll show those off when we get to the attachment section. But for the base part of the gun here, as you can see, it is really, really neat looking. I think it's a cool new take on our Raider paint jobs instead of the typical yellow and red that we do. And this thing is going to have its own unique legendary effect because we are good friends with BP42, and that man is what I call a script wizard, and he gets us some cool, wonderful new effects that make our uniques even more fun and interesting. So, this thing is going to give you a temporary stacking 10% damage bonus on kill up to 60%, hence why it's called Bloodlust. The more enemies you take down, the more damage this thing does to a point, and then there's a cooldown that makes it reset. Pretty simple stuff. The more you use it, the better damage it does. I think that's pretty fun for a low-level weapon like this, and I think this one looks pretty cool too. I think it's perfect for a Raider character. Now, if you want to get your hands on that thing, little spoiler warning that I probably should have done earlier, we're going to head over there right now. So if you don't want to see that, skip until you see the weapons workbench menu. Otherwise, stay tuned. We're going to head over there right now. Okay, so if you want to head over to the Skorpion unique location, you need to head over to Green Tech Genetics, a pretty prominent location in the main quest line. And I'm standing right here where you pop out if you were to fast travel to this location, right at the front door of the big building. Head over to the right here, and you're going to come around to the back side, and you'll see a brand new door to Hideout. This wasn't here before. And once inside, we're in a brand new little location. If we head down here, there's a bunch of makeshift bombs. I've never been in here, by the way. This is all brand new to me. Yeah, bombs. That's nice. I'm going to disarm those. I think Pig tries to set up traps just to get me exclusively for these videos. This goes to nothing. And he's probably laughing right now. Cool. Oh, wait, never mind. There's a door. Ah! I'm just going to close that. Bobby pins. Oh, there's a hole in the wall. Okay. So this did go somewhere. This might be like a little back entrance. That's fun. That got a 30 carbine pistol and a key to the bathroom. Sweet. He's got a bed and some stuff. And a chair with some beer. Looking at the bed. Sometimes you just don't question things. And in the bathroom with the key is a chest that contains Bloodlust. Look at that. Oh, it normally comes with a different scope than what I had on. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff. There's even this in here. What's that doing? Neat. And then I'm assuming that this goes back to the front. Where we were. Ah! Something happened. Something happened and I'm scared. It would appear there was a scorpion in the vice grip, but it is broken and broken. Okay. We're just going to ignore that, and that didn't happen. We're going to move on to the attachment section in a different area that's not making so much noise. Now, finally, let's talk attachments over at the weapons workbench. We've got a good bit of stuff here, as you can see. The configs can get pretty wacky and crazy. That's just a different gun. Don't look at that. But pretty wacky and crazy stuff, so let's go ahead and run through them. Receivers, you know what's going on. It's not much different here. There actually will be a gun that we're going to do that will have different receivers for once. That actually change how it looks, but that's not yet, so don't worry about that. Anyways, for barrels, we have the snub barrel, the typical looking Skorpion barrel. We've got a short version and a short version with a little heat shield shroud looking thing, as well as a long barrel and a long barrel with the same sort of shroud on it. For stocks, we have the option for no stock if you're a fan of this style of look for the Skorpion. I, of course, like the folded wire stock, but you can also unfold that wire stock if you'd like to. There's a makeshift stock made out of some bent pieces of metal, tape, and bolts, the good old-fashioned way to do it. We've also got a regular full stock, similar to what you would actually find mounted onto a Skorpion. A marksman stock, which is another one that you might find on some Skorpions. A pretty cool look here if you want to snipe with this thing for some reason. A recoil compensating stock is a more makeshifty version of the full stock that includes a big old sparrowing that should absorb some of that recoil right here. Hopefully, theoretically. It might. I haven't tested it. 4 magazines. We have the option for a small 10-round magazine, along with a quick eject mag that has a carabiner attached to the bottom here with a little contraption that you can just slide your finger in there for faster reloads. Medium mag is going to give you 20 rounds, and it has a quick eject version as well. And then large mag is going to give you 30 with a quick eject version of that too. And finally, a drum mag for, I think, like 50 or 60. It's big. It gives you a lot of bullets. For sights, we have the standard iron sights, as well as some glow sights, of course. We have a micro dot, micro hollow, and micro reflex. Typically, we use these on our pistols, but since they fit, we went ahead and put them here too. But we also have full-size dot, hollow, and reflex, which all look a little big on this guy, but if you put on the stocks and the barrels, I think it looks all right. We also have the laser sight, which will give you that hip fire style aiming that we always include. And a short scope, again, if you're crazy and want to try sniping with this full auto only machine pistol. For our muzzles, we have no muzzle. A makeshifty bayonet made out of a bent piece of metal and a nut. A flash hider. A compensator. A muzzle booster and muzzle brake. And you'll see all of these are made out of like plumbing materials and nuts and bolts. So that was fun to make because it's all super makeshifty. Because similarly, I haven't seen too many muzzle devices for the real-life Skorpion. So makeshift was the way to go, especially for an early-level raider gun like this. We also have a makeshift suppressor, but we do also have a standard suppressor depending on the aesthetic you want to go for. For accessories, we have the option for a flashlight on the right side here, a laser, and a Rafats targeting module. We have some grip options with a makeshift grip if you want to ditch the wood and go for all steel and make it a little bit more scrappy. We have a standard wood, taped wood, comfort in Bakelite, and light in plasticky, rubbery something. Then we have... Oh, we already did the stock section. That's right. That's it. But I did want to equip some makeshifty parts so you could see how goofy you can get this thing looking to make it real makeshifty. Of course, you got to throw on the quick eject for that carabiner and throw on your muzzle booster here. And now you've got a real makeshifty looking Skorpion that doesn't even look that much like a Skorpion anymore. Pretty cool. And then let's put some sights on there too for fun. Here we are. I think the most makeshifty sight is either the OKP or this one. Perfect. So you can make some pretty cool looking stuff if you want to. Real raidery looking gun, which is why we did the raidery unique. Mix and match to your heart's content. The unique actually does have custom paints for the receiver, but nothing else. So if you throw on stocks, they will still be wood. But honestly, in my opinion, if you were to customize this thing and put wood on, I think it still looks pretty cool with the paint, personally. But it's up to you. Have fun. I hope you guys enjoy the mod. Let's go ahead and move on over to the outro. Alright, this is like the third take of doing the outro. The first one was, I'm not even kidding, like 6 minutes, and the second one, I just couldn't speak. So we're going to speed through it and hit the important stuff. As usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the mod. If you did, leave the video a like. It helps out the channel, or you can drop an endorsement on the mod. It helps in the same way that a like does on the video. If anything, it's even more impactful over there on the mod, but as usual, you don't have to do that. I also have a Patreon. You know what to do if you want to check that out. I'm not asking you to. It's there for those of you who are crazy enough and want to donate, but I don't feel like you need to. You really don't. Anyways, there is a little bit of news. As you may or may not know, there was a big ol' update for Fallout 4. There is now a Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, which I don't think any of us were expecting, unless you were me and a select few other people who were a little aware that that was coming. Anyways, there are now paid creations for Fallout 4. I know that there's a lot of feelings about that for a lot of people, and I want to be clear here when I say that those of us who are doing it are all doing it on our own, and we don't necessarily share the same work ethics and opinions. When I say that I actually do have a project over there and that you can purchase a creation that is made by me, I want you to understand that that does not mean I am quitting free mods on Nexus. That will remain my priority. We do have a couple of projects over there. One is made by me independently, and one is made by Pig independently. I think his is a little power armor backpack, and mine is a little pack of melee weapons. You get 7 new melee weapons from me. You'll notice already that is a little bit unlike our typical weapon releases, because again, I plan on doing my normal stuff on Nexus for free, just as I was doing before we got this opportunity. And you may have noticed that the amount that I've been doing over on Nexus has dropped from like once a week to once every 2 weeks. That's got nothing to do with creations. That's just my workflow. I've been taking a little bit longer on mods lately, trying to do more cool stuff for them. We're adding stuff like you saw in the video, like dungeons and custom effects for the uniques, brand new animations from our animators, and if anything, you're going to see more quality like that from our mods from now on, again, for free. If anything, look at our creation stuff like merch. You're paying to get something, and that payment is going to allow us to make better free content for you guys moving forward. Most of you seem to be on the up and up and understand that completely, and a lot of you guys have been super supportive of it and say you're even excited for our releases, and based on the numbers I'm seeing, that appears to be pretty true. You guys do seem to be very excited, and that makes me really happy that you guys are supporting our work over there so that we can make more work over here for free. So if you're a fan of free content, don't worry, you're going to be getting it. You should not feel like you have to buy anything from Creations. It's there if you want it, just like any purchase that you would make in any other part of life. With that, I hope you guys enjoy that kind of stuff. If you don't, though, don't use it. Nobody's making you, and it's not going to be anything over there from us that you feel like you need to have. All of the big, important mods to us are going to come out free on Nexus in perpetuity. Don't worry. If I do take breaks, nothing's going on, just means I need some headroom. Don't worry. A lot of people seem to worry a lot nowadays, and you don't need to. Mods are going to stay. It's going to be cool. You're going to see more stuff from us. Matter of fact, the next mod that we're dropping for free on Nexus, I think it's going to be like one of your favorite mods ever if you're a fan of lore-friendly, makeshifty Fallout stuff. Trust me, it's so cool. I'm getting more updates from our animators about it every day, and it's so cool. It's so cool, and I'm so excited. So I think you guys are going to like that. Don't worry. I don't know how many times I got to say that, but don't. I'm getting tired, so I'm rambling again, and I don't want this to be a 6-minute outro. Oh, it's already hitting 4. Okay, goodbye. Everybody, enjoy the video. Goodbye.